titled, Embrace Struggles for a Powerful Tomorrow. Embrace Struggles for a Powerful Tomorrow. Fatma Adam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Love the energy, do we? Yes. A very quick question. How many of us over here are millennials? In case you don't know, anybody who were born between 1981 to 1995? Quickly, a show of hands. Whoa, that's a huge number. It's a good thing for me. Then you can relate to my struggle. Just a quick recall. Did you have any kind of direction when you were in high school or when you just finished high school? I didn't. I personally didn't. Did I have to? Maybe, maybe not. A few fun facts about me. Fact number one, I come from a humble, conservative family. Fact number two, well, I was not a straight A student, okay? And fact number three, we will leave that for later. How did this whole thing begin? Let me just go back to 22 years ago. Don't start calculating my age now. We're not doing that. So 22 years ago, we had this graduation ceremony. I finished grade 12. My father was there. We had a round of applause, certificates. It was amazing. Little did I know what he had in his mind. What did he have in his mind? What did the girls during that time actually do? They just got married and had babies. Was it on my mind? No. Thanks to the books, the blame goes to them, where they made me envision a very different person from the community, apart from the community I basically belonged to. So I had a different idea. I came out of the graduation ceremony. We went back home. We had a nice lunch. And my father said, Yalla, Fatma, time to get you married. Father, I don't want to get married. That's not something I see for myself. I want a career. Let's see about that. What do you want to do? Anything where I can develop my identity. I want a meaning for myself. You want to get married when you become an old hag at 25? I'll get married when the time is right, Dad. There was that awkward silence, and the conversation just ended. And we didn't speak. Let's say, how long? 1 month? 2 months? 3 months? 6 months, we had this awkward silence between us. I come from a big family. This was fact number 3, actually. Where I am the eldest, and there are 8 more siblings after me. We are 6 sisters and 3 brothers. There was a degree of responsibility that I was carrying on my shoulders. I came back again. I had to do something in those 6 months, right? I was not just sitting clasping my hands, waiting for the things to come. No, I don't do that. We millennials are street smart. We had computers back then, and I yahooed my way through the university applications. Well, he laughed on my choice to pick a career. Well, what did I do? I didn't apply to local universities, but rather I applied for international institutions. And voila, after 2 months came the approval. I went to my father and I said, here, I got the approval, Dad. And again, another 2 months passed that way. That's a total of 10 months of torturous wait. But then he made up his mind because I was nowhere getting married, and there was no way he could change my mind on what I wanted to do. But so he came up with an idea that, okay, I'll let her go and study abroad based on my conditions. I was okay. Anything that paved a way. What was the lesson? I carried the future of 5 sisters behind me. Whatever I do is going to reflect on them. And I proudly tell you today, they are a calligraphic artist, number 1. I have a fitness consultant, number 2. I have a banker. I have a social media designer. Like Susie Chasm once said, it's the doubts that lead to more failures than the failures itself. So never doubt, embrace your struggles, and the power is you. Over to you, Contest Master.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our first contestant, Bilal Ahmed Salman. Bilal Ahmed Salman.
If you face your fears and never doubt yourself, the power lies with you. Fellow Toastmasters, judges, and dear speaker, Fatima, I am inspired by your struggles for a better future. What I liked most in today's speech is, number 1, the stories. Bill Cove says, tell a story, make a point. Did you notice the speaker shared the struggles in her life regarding her marriage, career selection, and some other stuff? And he made a point. So clear, highly admirable. Point number 2 that I admire is the humor. Victor Borge says the closest distance between 2 people is the laughter. And she added a couple of times a laughter and made us closer to her point of view. Highly admirable. And third point, did you guys notice it was not a narrative, it was a dialogue. When the speaker was speaking, she were changing her voice to reflect the dialogues of her father and herself. And she made her points very clearly. Highly admirable. Now, each speech can be improved. So let me share 2 points, 2 speech spots for improvement. First, Virgil says, look with favor on bold beginnings. You had a very strong closing. I wish the speaker had a similar strong opening as well. Just like you had in ending, you had a quote. You did use some questions in the beginning, but the speaker could have improved or strengthened the start by asking some more direct question. Instead of saying, how many of you are millennials? If you say, are you a millennial? One-on-one question can be more engaging and make it more stronger. Or you can use quotes as well. Remember, connection trumps perfection. So you can use some tools like quotes in the beginning as well to build a stronger connection. Number 2, it was an amazing speech, but most of the time the speaker was standing here during the dialogue and all other stuff. And it's a kind of visual clutter. Whenever the speaker wants to make a new point, he must use the stage. It is here for us to support your speech. To summarize, it was a great speech. I'm inspired. Keep using stories to make your points, humor and dialogue. And if you work on your opening and strong closing, stage mapping, you will make your mark. Back to you.
I am now pleased to honor the contestant for his participation. Let's welcome our second contestant, Abdurrahman Yusuf. Abdurrahman Yusuf.
Nothing is more majestic, more powerful, more delicate, more precious than the relationship and the bond between a daughter and her father. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. TM Fatima took us on a beautiful journey between her past struggles and how that helped her become the amazing person we witnessed on the stage today. It reminded me of a relationship between a gardener, a botanist, and a precious flower, colorful yet delicate. This connection I made was between her father and his support system, his powerful advice and care, and her ambitions and goals. Here is what TM Fatima excelled at. She started with tremendous energy. Good morning. And she kept that energy throughout her speech. The second area that she excelled at was choosing a story that touched all of us, a personal story. Whether you are a female, whether you are a male in this room today, you were touched. As a male, a future father, hopefully, I wish to have this beautiful relationship. And as a female, you connected to the struggle. You know that in the Middle East, women need to be empowered. Thirdly, she used the stage as a master. When she talked as her father, she used this area. When she talked as herself, she gestured to this area. That was brilliant. Here are some areas of improvement for TM Fatima. I felt that you were very centered However, I didn't feel that you used the corners of the stage. The second area of improvement was starting with good morning wasn't as catchy as maybe some of the beautiful quotes that you had in the end. Some of the lessons, a quotation. Good morning, although you brought energy to it, but was a bit mundane compared to the fabulous speech you had. At the end, fantastic speech, personal story, motivated all of us here in the room tonight. And there is nothing more powerful or stronger or more delicate than the relationship between a father and a daughter. Back to the contest chair. Thank you.
We shall observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the sheets. I am now pleased to honor the contestant for his participation, Abdurrahman Yusuf. Let's welcome our third contestant, SATAC Wazzan. SATAC Wazzan.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Every speaker who goes on the stage, the moment he stands up, he opens his toolkit, the toolkit of core messages and set of skills that he has. And what Toastmaster Fatma did, once she opened her toolkit, the core message was revealed. Embrace struggles for a powerful future, a powerful you, a powerful around you, and a lot of things that could happen. A clear message that was obvious from the title of her speech and was quite explained throughout that speech. And in that speech, there were two certain skills that I loved in that toolbox she had. The first one was personalization. We come here on stage, we come everywhere on stages to share personal stories and experiences. We do not come here to preach. She came here. She told us when she was in high school. She told us about her family. She told us about her ambitions. She told us about her siblings and her father, as if we've lived the whole situation and everything with her. And then she gave us her personal lesson. So that is a beautiful and powerful tool to use whenever you're on stage. The second tool that I loved was vocals. Mastering vocals, especially in using a microphone, especially in front of a great audience, going up when needed, going down when needed, when she was changing her voice, when she was mimicking her father, and when she was taking high notes when she said, Ayahud, my future. A lot of things that were so beautiful about her vocals, and it will keep us all engaged and excited throughout the speech. Now in that toolbox, there were two missing tools that I would like to give Toastmasters Fatma. The first tool is the structure and organization of the structure. It's always beautiful that when you start your speech, you start with a hook. And she did that very well. And she went through, she spoke about the fun facts in her life, and then she went down to the graduation and the conversations that she had with her father. The thing that could have been improved, that if she took those fun facts in the beginning, because those three fun facts explained the whole situation and the whole speech, and they could have been much more appropriate if they were in the beginning, after the hook, immediately. It will make so much sense and will keep us engaged throughout the message, and we know the doubts of whom. Were they the doubts of us, the doubts of people around us, and it will give us the message right away. The last thing that could have been improved in this toolkit is the stage utilization. I always encourage everyone who goes on a stage for the first time to go and study that stage. If you have noticed, this hallway is horizontal, unlike most of the hallways that we're used to, the vertical hallways. And this way, you have to understand that you cannot look this way, because this way, I'm giving my shoulder and my back to the people on the left, and the same will happen on the people on the right. The same goes for eye contact, and when I utilize the map properly, if I know where to stand and how to move, if I'm moving the right side like this, I'm not gonna lose anyone. I'm not gonna give my back to anyone. In conclusion, we all embrace our difficulties and our struggles, and throughout these struggles, we grow. Not only we grow, we help people around us grow, and that's what she taught us. And I hope you all the best, Toastmaster Fatma. Back to you.
We shall observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their sheets. I'm pleased to honor the contestant, SATAC Wazan, for his participation. Let's welcome our fourth contestant, Ma Gwil Lakanila. Ma Gwil Lakanila.
Isn't it ironic that we need to face first our struggles before we face the shadow of success? Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and friends, and most especially to our target speaker, Toastmaster Fatima. The tremendous thing I love the most about your speech is the representation of the scenario wherein you created a magnificent personification when you are talking about your high school and family life. I felt that I was on that situation when you expressively defining the vivid backdrop of your speech. And that is the great manifestation of a great speaker, someone who can bring us to feel the ambience of the story. That was ecstatic. I also love your fluidity in terms of your speaking ability. But what I love the most of all is how your speech was beautifully crafted with the personal story of struggles and success in facing in your life, preparing for the future. That instantly moved my heart with a personal message of empowering yourself to prepare you for tomorrow. Well, Toastmaster Fatima, this speech must be heard by more people if we can make it more beautiful in two ways. Number one, I felt that throughout your speech, your facial expression did not change. As much as possible, you need to animate your face in order to connect effectively to one emotion to another. For example, when you don't want to get married, I want to see that sad face in your face. When you receive all the awards in your high school life, I want that big smile on your face. The second one would be the conclusion of the speech. I don't think that you concluded your speech with the correct message and tone. When you are talking about the struggles in empowering you, I think the right conclusion here is that when you are talking about and emphasizing about the meaning of your life in carrying the future in your family. Because that is the bottom line of the speech, because the message is more heavy. But overall, that was an extravagant speech. I love the representation of the scenario. I love the fluidity in terms of your speaking ability with a personal touch of story. But if you can have some modification in your facial expression and change the conclusion to a right climax message, I believe that we will be seeing you on this stage next year on SATAC 2025. contest chair.
I'm pleased to honor the participation certificate.
Thank you.